The limitations of our cosmic ears. What if the alien signals we're searching for are passing through us right now, carried by forces we haven't yet discovered? For over 6 decades, we've been pointing sophisticated radio telescopes at distant stars, hoping to catch whispers of extraterrestrial intelligence. But this approach assumes something profound: that alien civilizations would choose radio waves as their cosmic messenger of choice. This might be equivalent to modern internet users searching for important messages in fax transmissions, fundamentally missing the technological reality of potential communicators. Traditional SETI efforts have operated under a compelling but potentially flawed premise: that radio represents a universal communication technology that any advanced civilization would naturally adopt. This assumption made perfect sense when astronomers like Frank Drake first turned radio telescopes skyward in search of intelligent signals. After all, radio waves travel at the speed of light and can penetrate the cosmic medium relatively well. For a developing technological civilization like ours, radio seemed the obvious choice for reaching across the stars. But consider our own technological trajectory. We discovered radio communication just over a century ago, and already we're transitioning away from broadcasting powerful, omnidirectional radio signals in favor of targeted, lower-power technologies like fiber optics, lasers, and encrypted digital transmissions. What appears to us as an obvious, enduring technology might actually represent a fleeting moment in a civilization's development. For a species thousands or millions of years more advanced than humanity, radio might be as primitive as cuneiform tablets are to us. An interesting historical footnote rather than a practical communication method. The physics of radio communication presents a sobering challenge to our search efforts. Radio waves disperse across vast distances, dramatically weakening as they travel. A signal that might begin as a powerful broadcast from an alien world would, after crossing a few light years, become so faint that it would barely register against the background noise of the cosmos. An alien civilization would need to generate incredibly powerful transmissions just to be noticed across interstellar distances. This requirement raises practical questions about energy expenditure and sustainability. Imagine broadcasting powerful radio signals in all directions continuously for centuries with no guarantee of response. Such an endeavor would require enormous energy resources and long-standing technological continuity. Even if a civilization did embark on such a project, they might only maintain it during a relatively brief window of their development, perhaps just a few centuries out of potentially millions of years of existence. Despite decades of searching, we've examined only a tiny fraction of the sky across a narrow range of frequencies for relatively short durations. The vastness of space, combined with the multitude of possible frequencies and the brief windows of observation, creates a cosmic needle in a haystack scenario. Our search has been equivalent to dipping a teaspoon into the ocean, examining its contents, and declaring the ocean devoid of fish. The ephemeral nature of potential signals presents yet another challenge. The famous WOW signal, detected in 1977 by Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope, highlights this problem perfectly. This strong, narrowband signal appeared for 72 seconds, about the time it takes to read this paragraph aloud, matched many of the expected characteristics of an artificial transmission, and then vanished forever. Despite numerous follow-up observations of the same region, it was never detected again. Like a distant lighthouse beam that sweeps across your location just once, these fleeting cosmic whispers might pass through our detection window in mere moments, never to return. The WOW signal serves as both tantalizing evidence and cautionary tale. It appeared to be exactly what SETI researchers were looking for, yet its non-repeatability rendered it scientifically inconclusive. How many other potential signals have we glimpsed only briefly before they disappeared into the cosmic static? Advanced civilizations might have abandoned radio millennia ago, moving to communication methods we haven't yet conceptualized. Quantum entanglement, neutrinos, gravitational waves, or entirely unknown aspects of physics might serve as their communication channels of choice. These civilizations might be engaged in constant dialogue throughout the galaxy using technologies that pass through our detection systems completely unnoticed, like ultraviolet light passing through a radio receiver. Consider how a civilization, just 1,000 years more advanced, might communicate. They could potentially harness quantum principles we've only begun to understand, enabling instantaneous communication across any distance without detectable electromagnetic signals. Our inability to detect their communications wouldn't mean they don't exist. It would simply reflect our technological limitations. We might also be missing alien signals because we don't recognize their patterns or purposes. Our search algorithms typically look for regular, repeating signals that stand out from natural cosmic noise. But what if alien communications don't follow patterns we'd recognize as artificial? The strategy of listening for radio signals might ultimately represent humanity's most expensive technological blind spot. A 6-decade investment in searching where the light is good rather than where the keys are most likely to be found. This doesn't mean SETI efforts have been wasted. They've helped advance radio astronomy and signal processing technologies, but it might explain their lack of definitive success. The dark forest theory. Our technological blind spots might not just be limiting our search efforts. They could be protecting us from a far more disturbing reality. What if the silence we perceive isn't just due to communication barriers, but a deliberate strategy employed by civilizations who've learned that making yourself known in the cosmos is equivalent to lighting a signal fire in a forest full of predators? Picture a vast cosmic woodland, where every civilization is both hunter and hunted. In the darkness between stars, advanced beings listen silently, motionless, like predators poised to strike or prey desperate to remain unseen. Each civilization hides among the stars, listening intently while making no sound themselves. This metaphor forms the heart of the dark forest theory, popularized by Chinese science fiction author Liu Cixin in his Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy. The theory offers a chilling explanation for the cosmic silence we observe. Everyone is deliberately hiding. The dark forest perspective rests on 3 fundamental assumptions. Survival is paramount, resources are finite, and intentions of others can never be truly known. These principles create a perfect scenario for mutual suspicion. Even if a civilization appears peaceful, can we ever be certain they'll remain that way? What about their descendants thousands of years from now? This creates what Liu calls chains of suspicion that can never be broken. Consider Earth's own history as a microcosm. When technologically superior societies encountered indigenous populations, the outcome was rarely beneficial for the less advanced group. European colonization decimated countless cultures across continents. This pattern has repeated throughout human history. Technological advantage typically leads to domination and often destruction of the less powerful society. If this pattern holds true across the cosmos, making contact could be catastrophic. What makes the dark forest truly terrifying is that civilizations might actively eliminate any civilization foolish enough to reveal itself. In this model, the safest strategy becomes cosmic paranoia. Remain completely silent, and if you detect another civilization, destroy them before they can pose a threat. This creates a universe where the only survivors are those who never announce their presence, or those who eliminate potential competitors before being discovered. But what about civilizations that somehow navigate this dangerous universe? They would likely emerge with a profound understanding of the risks of detection. Having survived their own dangers, they would implement stringent communication protocols designed to minimize their cosmic footprint. Their technologies would evolve toward maximum efficiency with minimal detectability. Their observations of younger civilizations like ours might lead them to a sobering conclusion. The safest approach is to remain completely undetectable while monitoring potential threats. Some astronomers have begun considering whether certain astronomical anomalies might represent deliberate cloaking technologies. Unusual stellar dimming patterns, unexplained infrared excesses, or strange spectroscopic signatures could potentially represent not natural phenomena, but the technological artifacts of civilizations attempting to hide while still harnessing energy. The development of artificial superintelligence adds another concerning layer to this scenario. Within the dark forest framework, ASI represents a particularly dangerous inflection point. The autonomous, self-amplifying nature of superintelligent systems could accelerate a society's technological evolution at speeds that outpace biological timelines. Imagine nations increasingly ceding military power to competing autonomous AI systems. These systems, designed to gain tactical advantages, could eventually deploy weapons capable of unprecedented destruction. As one AI system detects another making advances, it might calculate that a preemptive strike offers the highest probability of success. This hair-trigger situation could rapidly escalate into civilization-ending conflict. In this scenario, technological civilizations might typically last less than a century after developing advanced AI capabilities. A mere eye blink against the cosmic timeline. The integration of AI into military defense systems is particularly worrisome. We already see evidence that humans willingly surrender significant control to increasingly capable systems because they perform critical tasks more rapidly and effectively. Government reluctance to regulate these technologies pushes us closer to a precipice where autonomous weapons operate outside ethical boundaries and international law. If the dark forest theory accurately describes our cosmic reality, our current approach to interstellar communication represents dangerous naivety. Every television broadcast, every radar ping, every deliberate message beamed toward distant star systems might be shouting our location in a forest where predators lurk. Most concerning is that there's no way to retract our signals. The electromagnetic bubble announcing humanity's technological awakening expands outward at light speed, now reaching over 100 light-years from Earth. If there are watchers within that sphere, they already know we're here. Several leading scientists, including Stephen Hawking before his death, warned against active SETI programs that deliberately broadcast powerful, targeted messages to potentially habitable star systems. These concerns weren't based on paranoia, but on a rational assessment of risk. When the stakes involve the potential survival of our entire species, caution might be the wiser approach.